Okay, this will be a challenging one. Let's see what we can do, folks, with this piece. Silly. Wondering what else we're going to do. We're going to take this, put it on that. Although that's printed what we've got, but we're going to use it. Let's see what we have to demo with. We have here, it's got the sticker on that side, but we're interested in this side, Dr. Pepper Diet Cherry Vanilla. So yeah, this is just the whole can I'm rolling over. But basically, yeah, I don't drink much. I'm going to stop drinking most so-called diet drinks because the sweetener in them is artificial, and I've heard that artificial sweetener is carcinogenic, and my dietitian tells me I've got to take, if I'm going to have sweeteners, I've got to have stevia, which is a natural sweetener, stevia. So you can get stevia from most supermarkets. Only thing I find is it's not all that sweet, which I find annoying because I do like my drinks sweet, and stevia just doesn't have the same punch that conventional sweeteners have. Now that looks interesting. Like conventional artificial sweeteners. I just find that, I'm drinking also black coffee instead of the having milk to try and reduce the kilojoules without having to lessen my coffee drink. So yeah, it's not easy going on a diet, folks, but I must go on a diet. It's one of those things that you must do sometimes. Otherwise I'll keep getting fat and I'll be morbidly obese, and then I'll have a lot of trouble. I won't be able to do much, including tying up my shoelaces and cutting my toenails. I know these sound like trivial kinds of things that I'll be having trouble with, but believe you me, it is not worth it, folks, getting obese. But it's not easy all the time. Not everyone can lose weight all that easily. So yeah, I like to take that into account. I had a friend who was morbidly obese, and she really struggled and she ended up really big, and she couldn't do a lot of things that you take for granted if you weren't so big. So I've seen with my own eyes what morbid obesity can do. And it's really difficult trying to go alone, losing weight. I've been battling a bulge myself for like on and off for more than 30 years. So yeah, it's not an easy thing. And oh, this is really well lit up. This is really good. But basically, weight loss is not an easy thing, and it's a real chore having to go on a diet. But I have to diet. It's just the way that it is. Like it or not, I have to diet. But you do get a lot of health benefits when you're living a healthy life. When you do stay on your diet. I'm actually thinking we might reverse the colours, but it's not an easy thing to do, to stay on a diet and to keep it going. There's always temptations, with sweets and fatties, those sorts of foods and drinks. You do feel like you're missing out on something when you're on a diet, but it's in my opinion, it's going to be worth it. I do think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to leave it on 100, stuff it. I'm going to make this into something more interesting. So yeah, I'm hoping to drop down from around 74 point something down to 60. I'm hoping to get to 60 kilos. And then all I have to do now then is to stop gaining weight, just keep it stable. That'll be easier. That'll be the easier part. Yeah, that looks interesting. I don't like the red. The red looks shithouse. And that looks shithouse. I do like the patterns. I'm actually going to go back to positive mode. That looks shit. But basically, yeah, I still got the density on. I'm not going to have this. But yeah, stevia is not the greatest in flavour, sweetness when it comes to sweeteners. But I have to do it because I have to, as I said, it's not, the artificial sweeteners are not healthy enough. They are I've heard that they can cause cancer, and I don't want to get cancer if I can avoid it, folks. Now that looks brilliant. That looks a lot better. Our Dr. Pepper arrangement. I'm thinking we're going to keep it like that, even with that, because we still want to see the Dr. Pepper label and the word diet. We might enlarge it a bit, actually, maybe on the vertical. But basically, yeah, that looks good. It's really good. But yeah, it is difficult to diet and to keep on a diet, but it does help to have a dietitian on your side to give you advice and all that. It can be expensive. You can get it on Medicare, but it can be expensive, but it's really helpful to have if you can somehow find out, if you're able to get a dietitian on your side to help make the weight loss transitions necessary happen. It is difficult losing weight, so it pays to have some help. Yeah, that looks brilliant. That's a good fit. Even that looks nice, the colour there. So this is Diet Dr. Pepper. I actually wondered if they had a Diet Dr. Pepper. I don't know why they call it Dr. Pepper. It's not terribly healthy. You wouldn't think a doctor would recommend it. Dr. Pepper. This comes from, I think, the US. I think this stuff's imported. You get some really, if you can go find a shop that has all this imported stuff, like from the US, you get some really crazy drinks and shit from some certain types of convenience stores. Now we're just going to find the mirror image and switch it on. Most of my demos today have so far been prolongated, really big ones that go for more than 10 or 11 minutes. Okay, out it comes. But this has turned out a lot better than I thought for something that has really yucky sorts of colour on the packaging. Let's see how we go. Okay, alright, there we have it. Dr. Pepper Diet Reimagined.